What's going on? My name is Rogue. I make gym nerd content. You might have thousands of reasons why you're not a DM right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna jump right in and talk about my greatest fears of being a DM and why it took me so long. Stick around to the end of the video to see what I struggled most with. Number 1, stuttering or talking over yourself. Drink water and think before you respond. Not everything's gonna be perfect here. You're not an NPC with pre-programmed dialogue. Pay attention to the rhythm and pace you're speaking in, and don't be afraid to hit the brakes with a pause. Chances are you're not being graded for how good of a DM you are, and that's something to remember here. Your friends aren't gonna keep a tally chart of how many times you stutter or use and That being said, try to avoid placeholders like and like the best you can. And if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Number 2, not being prepared for your session. You can prepare for a D&D session a month straight in advance for it to be the perfect game, and it will still be botched. You'll never be able to prepare 100% for the curveballs your players are gonna throw at you, and that's just D&D. As a matter of fact, you don't even need elaborate session prep to be ready for your session. Write down the main idea of your session, that being the quest, the goal, the NPCs you're gonna be using and what they're gonna be talking about, the loot, and a list of names, because you have no idea how useful having a list of names on standby is gonna be. Practicing improv helps a ton too. I warm up with all of my sessions with some improv. If you guys would like me to do a video on how to warm up before your D&D session with improv, I got you. Let me know in the comments. Number 3, not knowing all the rules to D&D. Dude, I will give you $10 if you can name one DM that knows every single rule in the book of D&D. Not actually though, I'm broke. Most DM screens come with every rule that you need to run your game smoothly, and even if you forget something, there's no shame in saying, "One sec, let me check the ruling on that real quick." Not to mention, it gives your players a quick break in the middle of the session to talk, to joke, to plan their next moves, all that. It's important to remember that most DMs run house rules, meaning rules that are at the DM's discretion that aren't in the book. I made an entire video on house rules if you'd like to check that out to see where to start with those. Number 4, I can't create an adventure from scratch. You literally don't have to. You have 2 options here. Number 1, find a module. That'll give you an entire campaign, one-shot, or adventure to run, such as Curse of Strahd, Icewind Dale, or you can find a player-made one online that's usually free or $1.99, something like that. Option B, use the books to create your own adventure. Fun fact, there are literally sections in the Dungeon Master's Guide that make an adventure for you just by rolling. And usually this takes only 5 to 20 minutes to do. Most of the time I use this as the backbone to my adventure, and then I expand on it from there. And number 5, this is what kept me from being a DM for so long. I'm not gonna be a good DM. I'm very self-critical. I'm surprised that I can even edit my own videos by myself. I will take 10 pictures of myself and delete 15. That being said, do you think anybody in the world has woken up one day and become a professional athlete? Athletes practice 3 to 5 times a week for weeks, months straight, and that doesn't even guarantee them a win. Yes, there might not be practicing D&D, and there's definitely no winning in D&D, but you can practice on your own by doing improv, thinking up sessions, even talking to yourself in the mirror, whether that be monologues, whether that be practicing your NPC's voice lines and accents. My point is, no one is going to be Matt Mercer their first time DMing. Do I even think you should be Matt Mercer? No. You should find your own DMing style, and you should use that. The best DMing style for you is the one that works for you, not the one that Matt Mercer has, not the one that YouTube has, not the one that Reddit has. And that's something that we all forget. I get it, we get envious of these DMs that seem so put together. But even those DMs make mistakes in their sessions, occasionally talk over themselves, occasionally come to the sessions unprepared. Nobody is perfect as a DM, and that's okay. It takes practice to become a good DM, and it's better to suck than not try at all. So there you have it, guys. Those were my biggest fears on why it took so long for me to become a DM. I want to hear what you were afraid of when you first started DMing, or what's keeping you from DMing in the comments below. Yes, I'm going to be reading every single one of them. If you'd like to support my channel, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and welcome to Rogue's Lair.